today we're going to look at how to create the tiers that you can have within your courses, and also I thought at the same time we might look at how you set your access restrictions and mold your courses and your products to suit the purchaser or the user of your courses. So let's get stuck straight into it. Okay, so first up, here's our courses page, and I have created a copy of the course, my original one, how to create a membership site, and I've called it copy of how to create a membership site. Very original. But I changed the labeling on them. One's as free trial and one is as premium course. Now this is essentially the tier basis. So you have an unlimited range. You can create all your own names for tiers, and it will depend very much on things like your industry, what it is you're trying to accomplish with your courses. So you might have, the very normal, basic, advanced, and premium or brainiac. I think I've got one in there I just called brainiac. You might name them after specific things in your industry. So it might be animals. You could have an animal related, and it could be like, cub, juvenile, adult, if you're into bears or something like that. So that's if your course is about how to look after bears, which would be rather unusual. However, the point is, it's really dependent on your own imagination and how you're taking people through courses. So if I didn't have any tiers at all, if I was just like giving away free courses all the time and wasn't looking to actually sell or use those courses for anything but for teaching, and I was going to do all my lead capture and alternate sales products, whether it be affiliate products or other sorts of things directly from the pages, well then there's no real need to create tiers. But of course the beautiful thing about having courses is that you can take people through stages, and that's where you create your tiers, and 9 times out of 10 there's 3 of them. I just wanted to show you Thrive's actual course. They call it Thrive University, and Thrive University is built on Thrive Apprentice 4.0. It'd be mad if it wasn't. And this is what it looks like. So very similar in sort of the background to what I've created here on mine, although theirs is a lot more aesthetically pleasing, I think, at this stage, because I've just tried to get things on a page where they've obviously spent the time to mold it the way they want. So they've put up a nice welcome banner here. I'm logged in, so therefore it's picking up my name, so you could have welcome and then use what's called one of the global fields or user fields to show my name. Little bit of a blurb on what they're doing, and then they use a series of lists like we have on this page. This is a list. Okay, this is the course list, and at the moment I'm just showing all courses. They're using a list where they've probably put some filters on this list, because you can put a filter on any list you have within Thrive, and they've probably said show the courses here that have been opened the most. And then down on this section, we go to the bottom of the premium, it'll be show the courses here that are classified premium, tagged as premium, labeled as premium, whatever item they're using for the filtering, because you can filter on any number of different items. But as you can see from this page, it's quite good looking, and they've got all their courses there. They've got it paginated. There's quite a number of courses, and some are premium, some are at the bottom, some are for sale, some require you to be logged in. So you see, log in to access. These ones, because I haven't logged into these sites before, so therefore that's given me that. These ones I have, as you can see, revisit the course. So this is sort of some of the options you have in terms of your creating tiers and other types of things. When we come back to our side, as you can see, I've just got the two, free trial and premium at the moment, and at the bottom here I've created a different opt-in or call to action at the bottom, and this is to do with some conditional labeling that you can do on your on any part of your website actually, and that's going to be in the next video, so I won't go into that right now, but we will see how that will work later on in the demonstration. So for now, what I wanted to do is to go back over into the settings and just take you through real quickly these. So there's general settings, of course, which where I showed you the other day, you can skip your home page, skip the course home page or not. This area here is if you're going to set up email templates within the back end of Thrive, and you would connect to something like Active Campaign or MailChimp or any of the other email services there if you're going to do that. Then there's the labels and translations, and this is where I set up a subscribers only label, a premium course, which was that one, the free trial there, that's came with it, and then I set up a Brainiac one that was just me mucking around. These are all pretty self-explanatory when you look at them. For example, course progress, you've got the labels that would come up if a person completed a lesson, that's what they would get. But our main area that we're looking at here is the login and access restrictions. So this is the first part, and this part here is where you create a login and registration page. So when you first come into this area and you haven't got a page, it will say you don't have a page, do you want to create one or select one? So you get a little select box here. So if you've already got a page that you've set up, or you just want to use another page from within your site that already has some sort of login and registration, you use that. Otherwise, there's another little button underneath that says create a login and registration page, and I will just show you that now when I view that. When you create that page, it looks like a standard login type screen, and you have a number of options on that page, and those options are to have just a login. See, login and registration, we can modify all this, I'll show you that. Here we go, just a login. You can have a login, you can have just a login, you can have just a registration, or you can have both. Okay, now I'm already logged in, so that's why it's showing that there, but I will take you to this page and show you what that looks like when and what we can do with that page to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'll just close that now, and then the other three things that you've got here are what happens when a user's not logged in, what happens when a user hasn't yet purchased, and what happens when content is currently locked by some form of within the drip feed. So if you remember from our drip feed lesson, which you'll be able to see up the top left, if you remember from that, on our third module, I said to adopt the restrictions that come from the product, whereas on the first two lessons I should say, on the first two lessons, it was just simply this is free for all users. So what you set here is, what are we going to display? And it says here display custom content. And you've got a couple of options. You can display the custom content. You can redirect to a login and registration page. You can redirect to a custom page. So that might be something you've set up, as in, for example, you might have one of your courses which is not actually yet available, but you're trying to create an early bird list. So if a person clicks on it, they go across to a full landing page, explains all about the course, and then gives them the chance to opt into the mailing list to get on the early bird list. So very, very handy for that. And so you've got these three options. So if we have a look at, we can also display a custom title as opposed to just the title that comes with it, or hide the title. And I'll just show you what this page looks like. And this is again, governed by a couple of other things. So when the page opens, it's very, very basic, and it just simply gives the person a direction as to what's going on. So it says here, you must be logged in to access this course. So just remember this now, because when we go into a page in a minute, our course restriction page, I'll show you a method by whether this turns up or by whether stuff you've created turns up. Okay. And so we'll just cancel that. And you've got the ability to set that on all of these three options. Okay. So they're the overriding settings that are in your entire system. So if we go into our products now, and you can see now I've got 2 products, and these products will each have a course inside them. If I go into this one here, the copy of the product, we can now set the access and restriction rules, for this particular product. Now, if a user is not logged in, I've just said use the default site behavior, which is kind of what we just saw. If the content is locked, do this. If they haven't yet purchased, I want to redirect to a custom page. And in this case, I've actually just redirected them to the login and the registration page. But it could be, again, any other page. It could be a sales page you've set up, it could be an early bird waiting list page that you've set up. Doesn't really matter, right? So I'll show you that page and what it looks like when we go in. Last but not least, we come down to our courses, and as you can see here, I've modified this one to be a premium course. I've gone into the course on each of the lessons, and I've said take on the restrictions from the product that I've set on the product, whereas on the free course, as I said before, it says, this is free to everyone except when it gets to that 3rd lesson. Okay. So what we'll do just now, I'm going to go into this restricted access page. Now this is one of your templates, and I wanted to show you this because that message that we just saw a minute ago is what is going to show up when the top section of this page is not displayed. So you can see here it says your lesson or module content will be hidden from any users that do not match your access rules. Depending on the settings you choose, your course content area will either be replaced with a message or your visitors will be redirected entirely. Okay, so if I leave this page as it is, that message we saw before will pop up. But over here, under our top level of the page design, you can see here I've got the top turned off. Now if I turn the top back on, this is what I created, just for the hell of creating something a bit different, to show what's going on. And in this case it's because this is coming from the free course. Once they hit that 3rd page, it pops up and it says, you currently don't have access to this content. Click the button below to log in. And of course, when they do, that's going to take them to the access and login page. If I didn't want to make them go through that button process, I could instead put an element on the page. And that element, which is way down here, I believe, is the login and registration access form. So if I pop that in there, and I'll just drop that in here for now, put it, say, above this content. I have an option of choosing what the form might look like, looking at the design, so on. And as you can see there's forgotten passwords. Once I put that form in, it will give me the option of saying, do I want to have just the login, do I want to have a registration, or do I want to have both? But I've already got that page created, so I'm going to just not do that here and pop that out of there, right? Because I want to keep it with this button here. But the other thing I wanted to show you on this page is, because this is a restricted access page. It's something that you're going to show someone. When we first set up this system, I chose some default pages as part of the theme, and with everything else that I was doing with the theme. And within that, I chose a page that had a sidebar. Well, you know, I kind of don't really want a sidebar. So all I need to do to close it off is find the top level design of the page again up here in the top left, and then with the sidebar, same as we did with the top, is just turn it off and it goes away. If we want it back, you come down to layout and visibility, you click there, and you can see that the bottom is hidden and the sidebar is currently, I should have actually come up with the sidebar as well. Contents and sidebar. I don't know why, but it's actually normally shows sidebar hidden or not, and you just unhide it, so I don't know why that's doing that. Anyway, I will save that. That now becomes our content restriction page, and it will override those other little minor messages it had. So you can see that you can design your pages, you know, to be a little bit more user friendly than just saying, hey, you know, you're not allowed into this page, click here. So you can create something a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now what I'll do is, because I'm logged in on this page, I'm going to bring across another page from an incognito window where I'm not logged in. So just give me one moment to do that. Again, looks the same thing, but I'm just not logged in here. So we should see some different action now. Quickly, just to give you a quick feel, remember how that other page I had a webinar registration form on it, or a call to action. That's showing because I'm logged in. But with conditional display, I can actually say I want this to show for those that have not yet logged in. And you can do that with any part of your website, but again, that's going to be next videos on conditional display, which is really powerful because it makes your pages so much more conversion optimized. But once I log in, that will actually change to that webinar process. So I come along here and I've got my free trial. You know, here's Joe Blake. He's come to my page. He's looking at the course, and he goes to get into the premium course. He clicks on the course. So again, because I put that top section on, this is what they see when they come in. It says, you know, you currently don't have access to this content. Click below. Oh, interesting. And then it takes them to the login and registration page. And this is what you get. Log into your account. Don't have an account, sign up. All right, so I'll show you in a minute when I go into that page what you can do with this page. I mean, that looks pretty ordinary, this page, because it's just a straight up login and registration. But like every single page that's in Thrive, you can override it with a template, or you can add things to it and make it look a lot better. So in this case, what we might do is go back my pages screen. I should have a page here called login and registration. So I'll go into edit that. Okay, so here we are on the page, and it's like every single other page that you ever get within Thrive. Here was our form. You can see I got my user details there. If I click on the form, we have the edit the form elements over here, and here's where you choose whether you want it to be just a login form, a register form, or both. I've chosen both so that it comes in here. I can edit the form elements so that if I want to change the style of the button to a rounded one, if I want to change the, as it's got there, username or email password, username or email address and password, I might want to put the words enter in front of it, so I can just click on these edits here. I'll say enter. password. So you can modify the message that's coming up in there. You can modify the text here. Once you're done, just click on done, and now we've finished editing the actual form element. But on top of this, what you have is this is coming from the default page setup that I have in Thrive themes. It's not actually coming from the Thrive Apprentice, because within there, those pages that are part of the templating process are all to do around the Apprentice school part itself. The login page is a page, and the page is created within Thrive themes. So it's just taken on my default page look, which is this kind of still classic look. There's no imagery or anything like that. I could come in here and change all that if I want to, or, and this is where Thrive is really handy, is over here on the right hand side I've got change template. Now if I made a whole bunch of changes to this site, or to this page, sorry, added boxes and did whatever, and then I came in and I changed the template, well, I'd lose those changes, okay, because it overwrites it. So if I click on change template, I've got the option of a normal page or a pre-built landing page. So we'll go to pre-built landing page and just see what we have. And there are currently, for legacy landing pages, 10 different pages that I can choose from. I can go for this style. You can see there's 3 pages in here, 1 in here, 1 in here, 2 in here. I might just go over onto this one and see what the 2 pages look like. So we've got this sort of style and this sort of style. Let's just go with this, because I think that kind of looks pretty good. And we'll apply that template. You can change this at any time. As I said, if you add additional things to the page once you've actually had a template on there, and then you change the template, you're going to lose those additional items that are on the page. You can see there that the enter was removed from what I put on before, and at the moment this is set to just be a login page, but we want both. We want people to be able to log in and register, and so therefore don't have an account yet, sign up. And I won't change that here, but you can see this is a much nicer looking page, and it comes up with it's a full lander. It doesn't have any menus or anything up the top. I can add them if I wanted to by going to the very top page and adding the header. See, the header comes in, or getting rid of the header. So easy to manipulate these pages, it's not funny. And I'll just leave that as it is, but of course if I wanted to, I could make some extra changes, maybe change the color around to match the blue of our general theme, but I'll just leave that as. So we will save this. And then while that is saving, I'll come back across to our other screen, sorry, our registration page here. And so now when we click on our button, boom, we get this page. And of course it's coming up showing I'm already logged in, because I'm doing this on my logged in side, not my not logged in side. Coming back into our Apprentice and looking at the back end, so we've covered the labels and how we can look at the different labels, give them different colors, give them different names to create the different tiers that we're going to have within our courses. And then from there it's a matter of setting the access levels, working from essentially the course level at the lessons and working your way back out until you get to the product level, and that will determine and guide what people see and when they see it. You can either use the default pages that are within the system for showing people that they need to log in or buy the course or whatever, or you can create your own from the template pages that are available. And when you create your first login page, you can then obviously still modify that as well so that it looks a little bit more pleasing to the eye than just having some login form. So I hope you got a lot out of that. Next video is going to be about conditional settings, and that's a pretty exciting one too. So we'll see you then. So if you like these videos, hit the like button and then smash that subscribe button, and also hit the bell notification too, because that tells YouTube that you want more of these type of videos. Thanks.